Hello everyone, Caleb here. You are about to hear a clip that did not make the cut of either a previous episode or an episode that is about to be released. If you haven't rated or reviewed the show yet, that would be greatly appreciated. I know every podcast you've ever listened to asks you to do that, but that's because it really does help grow the show on top of you telling your friends about it, you know. Also check us out on social media if you haven't already at We Should Jam Pod. Give us any feedback, any questions, you know, would you rather, whatever, you know, that we can talk about. That'd be great. But thank you so much for listening and enjoy the clip.
I smashed my face off an outdoor pull-up bar the other day and it still hurts.
Did you get fucking high and decide to cut your beard again? You idiot.
I've lived in a house venue / studio for the past like 3.5, 4 years. I think 3.5 years. And we were just saying it really helps you. Like, you can experiment a little more. You save a fuckload of money on studio time. What do you think? What's like your favorite thing about living in kind of a studio environment all the time?
The absolute best thing about living in a studio environment is, I don't know if I should say, I'll say it anyways. The best thing about being in a studio environment like this is when you get to do psychedelics and put on your in-ears and jam and just play like one chord and like really sink the fucking groove in, you know, because the tones are all so fucking saturated and everything sounds so good in your ears that it just like that is a very effective way of feeling your music from a perspective that you never really get to feel your music while you're playing it, because unless you're like one of those guys who plays his rock shows on psychedelics, and that's like not really it's not on my list of things to accomplish, but that's something that you get to do when you live in a studio space like that, and when everything is all set up and dialed in and ready to go. All you got to do is turn on your amp, throw your in-ears on, activate the session, throw up the template, and you're rocking and you can hear everything. You don't have to worry about a thing. That's an amazing feeling. And then on top of that, just the whole experience of actually tracking and working on tracks, and, you know, being able to stop at any point, go eat or go for a walk and just come back and keep working on what you were doing, and not have to worry about anybody having scheduled any time. It's like, oh, I came out from this place, and like, you don't have to worry about any of that. You just work on your shit at your own rate. That's where all the value is for me, and so that's why we spent the 5-6 years that we've been spending collecting gear and building this place, is so that like we kind of just fantasized about being in this situation, and then all of a sudden one day we woke up and it was like, oh, we're in that situation and we can release music from this location, and everything feels good. So that's the really great thing about having a studio, man.
Yeah, I'd have to say the same. Thing where you can, it's kind of at your leisure, especially the being able to kind of write the song in the studio kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the psychedelics part I have indulged in. Wouldn't recommend it every time. Sometimes you play a chord and you get lost in it, and then you got to go lie down for a little while. It's a little intense.
Everyone's got to be objective, you know. Everyone's got to be willing to accept that, you know, it's possible that the drummer is going to be playing Nick Mason drum rolls the whole time. And it's possible that the guitarist is going to discover his delay pedal and have a really awesome time with the one note.
Oh man, yeah.
You know?
You can get lost in the sauce really fucking fast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, real fast. I did, for sure. I had to lie down, roll around a little bit, fell asleep, woke up, roll around a little more. It was pretty intense. But yeah, no, that part is pretty nice. You can do that at your leisure as well. So home studio recommended.
Yeah, man.
By me and Jig.
Yeah, no, I tell everyone, like, you know, just record whatever you can at home, and it's going to sound like shit, and try to make it sound good. And if you can't make it sound good, send it to me, and I'll try to make it sound good for as little as possible. Because, like,
you're gonna make so much money, man.
There's gonna be a time where like somebody sends you a song to mix, and then you'll send it back and be like, Hey, I just mixed it in 3D for you.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
There will, well, although like the thing is, if I get good enough where I can actually mix 3D, I'm gonna have to start being like, I could do that for a hefty price because.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna be like a couple K. Yeah.
Yeah, in that case, we'd probably be one of the only rock studios working on 360 projects because it's not really like a type of audio for rock. We'll have to come
Right.
at that with some creative thinking in order to figure out just how you would turn a rock mix into 360, because you can take regular mixes, take regular mono and stereo sources and send them through Ambisonic encoders and create a 360 mix out of that. And then there's also these microphones that are special microphones that record an environment in 360 so that you can get the room in 360 and the sound of that so that it's super realistic. So I think it's going to be like a mix of those two things. It's going to be like good ambience, and then you add all these close mics and all these close signals to kind of beef up your mix, and you pan them all. And then you're going to have like a pretty interesting 360 rock product if that turns out to sound, not too harsh on the ears.
God damn. I'm learning so much shit today, man.
Does that make
Craig
sense?
never went to school, so he's.
Yeah,
It does.
I'm
It
super
does make
uneducated,
sense.
man.
It does make sense. I'm
Yeah.
like.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, I'm learning.
I'm literally like very excited about it, and I'm like I said like a couple minutes ago, like I'm upset I haven't never considered it before.
Yeah, I
'Cause it
never
makes
never
total
once thought
sense.
about it.
Yeah,
It
man.
makes total sense.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Especially adding it into the live stream element makes like that's a $1 million idea.
Yeah, maybe like 450,000 if you got really lucky on Dragon's Den.
It's like a just under a $500,000 idea. No one ever says that. Why not?
Even at that, they'd probably still be like, your evaluation is too high.
Dude, that's like a $250,000 idea.
Ambisonic mixing, no one's going to give a shit about that. You guys are so wasting your money. How much money have you guys put into
Yeah,
this?
and that's like the grandson of the guy that was like, the Beatles, fuck the Beatles.
Yeah,
Get out
exactly.
of my office.
Exactly.
Same kid.
It's so funny.
And it's another great like your failed Dragon's Den pitch is another great clip for the documentary too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that would be fantastic, man. It's just like, that's what I'm saying. Like a band documentary is always better for it. It's always better for it to be like Spinal Tap than for it to be like what's another like band documentary that I don't watch the boring ones. Like there's even
Yeah.
what's a really good rockumentary per se? The Story of Rush. Have you guys seen that one?
I have
Yes.
seen
Beyond
it.
the- Beyond the Lighted
I've watched
Stage?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the same one. Yeah, it was okay. It was more like it
Come
was one of
on,
those
man.
weird documentaries where it was like self-deprecating or no, it was self-deprecating. They were like, yeah, nerds like us. That's it. Like they really emphasized that part. And then there's like a whole part of the movie where they're like, yeah, Getty got into synths for a bit. That was
Yeah.
kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's just the vibe of it. They were like, yeah, so the 80s were a write-off. It's fucked. Like they shat on themselves too much in that movie, I thought.
So that's
but
my-
it was good. I watched it. I liked it.
That's exactly my point, though. Spinal Tap style is better. Spinal Tap is like, that's the type of documentary you want to see. That's the type of footage you want to
Yeah,
see.
where they tell the ugly part.
Yeah.
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 That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, I like the movies where they're like, this band is fucking amazing and everything about it's amazing. Like I kind of like those documentaries too.
Yeah.
And I was expecting that out of the Rush one, and then they were just like, our music's for nerds and Getty's kind of fucked sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely the kind of band that they were. It's kind of sad.
They were, for sure. If you Google like when 2112 came out, they start like it'll be like 2112 came out in this year. It's a science fiction opera that has a 22-minute, and you're like, no, I'm done. That's enough I need to hear.
Yeah. No, like the real ballsy guys back then were playing that, and they were trying to like seduce the chicks that they were engaged in potential relationships with while they were listening to that, and those were the ballsiest men of society back then.
Yeah. And also the ones that are single to this day.
Absolutely.